out at the honky tonk. 1, 2, trace. Bro, I was not. Oh, we still got 16 seconds left. Throw it back. Throw it back. Throw it back. Bro, actually useless. Anyway, I'm sorry. Today's stream, the first stream of today, seeing how today goes, we shall be learning how to become a black female woman rapper. And by that, I mean I'm going to learn everything there is to know about Doja Cat. Hey, here we go, baby. Doja Cat. She is 28 years old, which means much like myself, her first YouTube video was when she was 18. Probably. Let's figure that out, actually, real quick. Stop! Stop! I need the exact date. March 26th, 2014. And her birthday is October 21st. So that means she was 17, which means she's much cooler than I am. I think. Hold on. If you're born in 1995, then when 2014 comes around, you'll be 19. What? But so she was 18. Anywho, that's not important to here nor there. Because that's all encompassing. I forgot my water. Hold up. Oh shoot. Oh goodness me. Oh, God dang. Oh God. Okay. 1 sock on. Okay. 2. Hold up. This one should be much crisper. Here. I don't want to put my leg up as much. Oh yeah, baby! Right in the bingo zone! Right in the bingo zone! I think I stepped in cat urine on the way to coming back to my room, so that's a problem for later. This is your fault! She doesn't even care, bruh. I think she's mildly obese. Only mildly, bro. It's okay. What if I just say that my profile picture and the stream where I had the swords out when I took the picture for my profile picture, what if I just say that was, hold up, let me pull up chat. Whoops. Okay. Boom. Boom. Oh, wait. Boom! I gotta blow my nose. One man dead at the honky tonk. One man dead at the honky tonk. You can't even lie. That was straight up fire. Straight up fire. Bree chillin'. What if I change that to my name? Bree Chillin. Bree? How do you add text box on OBS? Plus button? Image? Text. Okay. In that text, it's gonna say Bree. Whoa. Bree chillin'. Okay, that's all I needed. Bruh chillin'. All right, I'm done with that. Bree chillin'. You like that? Probably. She probably liked that. But not like in a weird way. In a Bree chillin' way. You know what I'm saying? One man did it the honky tonk. Yo, watch how my mouth doesn't move. One man did it. Who wants to see me drink this water? Agua. Agua. I need a whole new set of. Yesterday was A. Today, I'm thinking maybe going back to the P. But we're gonna try J just to see how it works. J6. Who wants to see me pump? I want to know how long I can pump iron for. Maybe I'll just do a pumping iron stream where I just pump iron. I didn't even do anything, bro. She freaking out for no reason. How to add Gucci on Che? Saran wrap, and then you paint the saran wrap. I just be innovating, you know? What's next? I killed a man last night. Gave him what he deserved. I forgot what the next words are. Let's find out. I killed a man last night. Gave him what he deserved. Dug him in grave and I put him in that dirt. I woke up this morning, my conscience fully clear. Felt closer to Jesus than I ever had in years. He can't hurt the ones I love. He can't break no angel's hearts. Right? Night grave and I put him in that dirt. I woke up this morning, my conscience fully clear. Felt closer to Jesus than I ever had. I think I might need a haircut soon. He can't hurt the ones I love. He can't break no angel's heart. He can't take that whiskey bottle and tear my world apart. He can't stand there in the mirror. He can't tell me no more lies. Yeah, I killed a man. Killed a man last night. I made a TikTok. I think it was pretty cool, but I think it's gonna flop, much like all the other TikToks that I think are cool. Let's watch the TikTok, everybody. Plus, over, OBS, over, scene 2. TikTok on the clock. TikTok, 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 TikTok.
Why did the water start talking? Huh?
Why did the water start talking?
Strawberry donuts.
That's the best way to answer a question.
Strawberry donut.
What? That's the best way to answer a question is to first repeat the question.
The water start talking.
Strawberry donuts.
Strawberry
I don't think this looks very good. I might be crazy, but I think that looks mid.
Strawberry donuts.
They're quite.
Oh, that was the punchline to the joke. Ow. Anyway.
Delicious. Yum.
You get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Explain it.
Because it's random. That's all you gotta say. It's so
Cause,
random.
if you put the
Water. See, here's my
if you put
mistake.
the water part,
Here's my mistake. I don't remember what the original question was. Right? I remember the punchline, the answer to the question, but I don't remember the actual question.
cause like why the water started talking
What's
the
crack
water
lacking, bro?
started talking.
mean that it would mean
Strawberry donuts because
cause when the donut calls for strawberries, you need to make sure that the strawberries get washed with water.
He's on to something. He's on
Because
to
otherwise,
something.
if fruits like strawberries don't wash it with water, then
Yup.
it won't be edible. Cause it'd be
you get sick.
Goodness gracious.
from eating strawberries without ever washing it.
So that's how the water was talking.
Yeah.
W answer. W answer.
Why did the water start talking?
I don't know what that dude's deal is, but I low-key feel bad for the other guy. She's
She's got. I don't know.
going off about something that you said, bro.
Yeah.
Going off.
What's going on?
Ow. Ow. Ow.
She's.
Ow. That actually hurt. Ow. Oh my god. I think I'm malfunctioning. No, because that actually hurt genuinely. First, when I went with one of these, I think that first one tore me up. And then when I did one of these, it just added to the pleasure of the pain. Okay, that one was too much. Here is a little sneak peek of something. If I were to tell you, which I already did, that I'm making an animation, right? It starts off, where's my thing? The bird. No, that's not what he looks like. He goes like this. And he's got a little doop-de-doop on his head. And he's got them chicken legs. And then he goes like this. Right? Pretty much that's what we got going on. So what happens? Oh, here's the beak. Boop, boop. Aw, are you kidding me? Call me when the party's over. I killed a man last night. Gave him what he deserved. Okay, so what happens, and then there's also mountains in the background. And clouds in the sky. What happens in the animation, which I think this is going to be pretty cool. It starts off with him flapping his wings this way. And then flapping his wings this way. And then he has a final flap of his wings this way. Right? And now he ends like this. And his eyes get all black. And his mouth is open. And then, well, I guess it doesn't have to be a he. Oh yeah, that door is solidly shut. Okay. Bro, I don't get how wind works. Somehow my door gets sucked shut all the time. Anyway, he goes up, he goes down, he goes up, and then his entire body on this last up goes up. And then his mouth opens. And he's also got this poof behind him. And it's all flowy like this. But then this goes like this. You know what I mean? So pretty much that's the animation. And then, because obviously he goes sicko mode here, the clouds turn gray. And then, lightning. That's way too small. That's the animation. Pretty cool if you ask me. I feel like that was a good representation. We'll have to check in the future. I should write that down. How early are we in? Wait, let me look. I killed a man last night. 15 minutes. That's pretty good. That's pretty good stuff. Gave him what he deserved. Bruh, I need to tidy up my room. I don't even lift weights. Ugh. 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 Water bottle, empty. Water bottle, all empty. Yeet. And then this stuff, garbage. And then the fan for when it gets hot out. Hold on. W. I thought I might have woke her up by yelling. Bruh. I can't, bro. I'm so over it. I'm so over it. You don't even know how over it I am. Anyway, clean floor. How did I miss those bottles? Sheesh. Oh, never mind. I thought I made it in the basket, but I didn't. I wish I had hard floors. You know how much cooler it would be to do a cartwheel? Alright, fine. Cartwheel, since you asked for it. Oh. Stop talking about my print. I know everybody just saw that, bro. W print. Alright. Let's learn about Doja Cat for final. Whoops. Give him one of those. Give him one of these. And hit him with one of these. First off, we need to do an overview of Doja Cat. We now know that she is 28 years old, which is a whole decade schleckmade more than me. We know what she looks like thanks to her Instagram. So first, I think this is a good. Whoa. W pictures. I think this is a good place to start. If I want to be a black lady rapper, I think the best place to start is by becoming a black lady. Unfortunately, that's not happening. Oh, valid. No, she's got a banger Instagram, I'm pretty sure. She only got 24 million, which is obviously 24 million, probably 25 million more than I have. But for a celebrity, I feel like that's kind of not much. I don't know. I really don't. So we know what she looks like. I'm not on my way to looking like her. I'm not on my way to being the same age as her because we're different ages. My name does not look anything like that. So I think on the point scale, I am so far 0 points out of 10 on the Black Lady rapper. My apologies. Known professionally as do we really want to look at Wikipedia? I suppose. Born and raised in Los Angeles. See, that's another point off for me. I'm 0 for 4. Let's see. Pull up the notepad. Right. Be like Doja Cat dash 0 for 4. Nope. 0 for 4. That is not a letter in the alphabet. Okay. Making music on SoundCloud as a teenager. 0 for 5. I mean, technically, is 19 a teenager? Because I could do that. Whoops. I think if you're in teens, you're a teenager. But also... Bro, they're gonna put me on a pedo watch list. A teenage year. Therefore, I'm still a teenager. There we go, baby. Ooh. Okay. So we gotta erase that one. We're now still 0 for 4. But we've got a year to go 1 for 5. So, yup. 5-3, 0 for 5. Unfortunately, I was gifted with being the prime height of 5'10". So that's bad. Full list. I don't have any awards, so that also is bad. SoundCloud. I actually never know what SoundCloud is before. I never knew it. I thought it was bad. But I think it's pretty cool. I like this song. Why do I have to be so bright? Oh, what a time to be alive! Banging in my on my hot 9. Willow Smith. This lady went crazy, I heard. Not mentally, like she banger after banger. Anyway, we're not on a Willow Smith deep dive. This is learning how to become Doja Cat. So far, the only way that I can become Doja Cat is if I make a song.
It's game day.
Put it on SoundCloud. But this is the first YouTube video. That drink. Oh goodness me. Am I crazy or does that not sound like her? I mean, I can hear it, but it's got dots. Dots are Jaguar print, I think. I'm pretty sure Jaguars are dots and no, cheetahs are dots. I'm so foolish. They got circles. You want to see the best animal ever? The one that I literally didn't know about if it was dots or circles 2 minutes ago. Bro, look at it. Look at it. If I could own one, I would sacrifice my firstborn. Not that I've had a firstborn yet. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. Urgent eye care. Let's see. Doja Cat. First song. Moo. That was her first song? I was gonna say, what? So high, her first song, bro. That should be Doja Cat deep dive. Learning if I didn't listen to this. Which I have seen before. Can you not Is this Addison Rae or not? I'm pretty sure.
Welcome to
But
your
I can't
Walmart.
tell. I can't be certain. See, this is unfortunately, I can't rock this look, which I think is one of the things that made this video so good. That's another reason. I wouldn't say good, but I would say.
Yeah, bitch, I'm a cow. Bitch, I'm
Also,
a
it's
cow.
catchy.
I'm not a cat.
I don't say meow.
Bitch, I'm a cow. Bitch, I'm a cow. Bitch, I'm a cow. Bitch, I'm a cow.
I go moo. Is this on Spotify? Let's see what's on. Let's see what Doja Cat's record's looking like on Spotify. Ooh, I just had the most brilliant idea ever. Okay. Expand. Singles first. Show them all. The whole shebang. I'm going this mode. We got purr. Right side roll dust. Moo. Moo. Let's have so high. Alright, see, she's been doing it. She's been doing it. So high is fire. For that being her first song, brilliant. Okay, now that we know what her songs entail, actually we gotta know what the most popular song is. Of course, the one that I know
On
the
a
best.
distant world, you faced the enemy. And all the while, you were vacuuming. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen.
Now that we have experienced everything there is to experience about Doja Cat's music, well, I don't know what her least popular is, but that's not important. We will now learn what Doja Cat is. What is Doja Cat? Right? Do we want the... I don't trust this source, but I do kind of want to know what... But if I look at the story of Doja Cat, it's only 6 minutes. I
It
feel like
being
this might...
2020, like, I expect the worst every day. And I'm really just kind of
can
doing
relate.
what I
I'm
can.
just
I'm
kidding.
being creative and whatnot.
Let me plug in for this. We don't need echoes. Echoes on music goes hard. Echoes not on music doesn't. Cat lover and internet troll. Amala
I acknowledge that I have worked really hard this year, but it's like I'm not working for me. It's not work for me. So that's why I feel that, initial
Flex.
surprise
Whoops.
that I feel. So it's yeah. It really just, I have a lot of fun. And that's why every time I walk up there or accept anything, I'm just like, y'all, thank you. And I'm just going to go back to doing this and, being creative and doing what I love to do.
All right. Hey, I think this is okay. October 21st. That's 4 days before I was born. And 9 years, but that doesn't matter. 10 years. She has a brother! 0 for 5, 0 for 6. I don't even know where I'm at. Hold up. 0 for 6. Her parents were not together during childhood. Whoops. 1 for 7. Let's go, baby. I mean, that's sad, but Doja said she's never met her dad. Hey! Hey! Let's go! 2 for 8! I'm closing in! Be like Doja Cat's coming.
I know my brother listened to a lot of music and we loved music, but my mom wasn't really a singer. She would sing, but she wasn't a singer. And my dad was a dancer and I wanted to dance, so I took up dancing. And I didn't really do music like that as a kid.
Okay, alright. Grew up in New York. And in California with her mom. Wait, what? Sorry, what?
That as a kid.
With her grandmother. Oh, my bad. New York with her grandmother, California with her mom. I'm not counting that as a point against me. Whoops. I did it again. On an ashram run by jazz musician Alice. What? What's her mother? Oh, I think it was a to be continued. Wait, no. On an ashram run by jazz musician Alice. I think that's just a description of the picture. Eventually, the family moved to Oak Park. Okay. Family moved to something like this, where Doja said she and her brother were bullied. Are the only biracial kids? I think that's gonna go for a point, not against me or against me. I think that's 2 for 9. Because I never was biracial and I never got bullied for it either. So. I never got bullied. At 16, dropped out of high school over struggling. I didn't do that. Began working on music.
I would say, go on, girl. Post it. Do it. Put that out. Just keep doing whatever you're about to do. Maybe take some singing lessons, but keep doing what you're doing. But yeah, no, that's probably what I would say, is don't change anything.
2012. And eventually went to record with
The beginning of my career, I used to sit at home and make
This doesn't
beats
count
and
against me, 'cause
you
this
know,
is just all
music
part of the
all
same
day. So
career.
it's not.
This is when she was actually Doja Cat. All the stuff leading up to becoming Doja Cat is the points against me. This is not
crazy, and I have a lot of fun at home.
Next year she signed with RCA Records. Dr. Luke. I don't know why I'm covering this thing like that. I can't see it. First single, So High, 30 million views. That's crazy. That's crazy. She's crazy. Crazy talented. You know what I mean? Okay, there we go. It bothers me seeing that red box. Criticized for appropriating. Oh, I know. I watched it very recently.
Usually when I go in to make an album, it's not about, we need to talk about my life and my personal, problems and my, things like that. Because usually it just starts with the music and just how it sounds. It's a lot more just like musical and just fun to listen to.
2018, I was 12. Kamala. Move! Wait, I missed that. I couldn't read it well. I turns out not the best reader because I try to read every word at the same time. It wears me out. What she wrote on Instagram Live and filmed in her childhood bedroom. Yeah. Valid.
Yeah, I'm a cow.
Called a couple of people around this time she was called out. I think that's the F slur. $15,000 times in my life. Gay is okay! Gay is okay! Wait, that means I can add a point to my Doja Cat list. 3. I'm not mad at her. first #1 hit. We can't escape her. What are you doing here? What the what? How did Judy Hopps get rolled into this? Alright. Addison Rae! Oh.
It's the most creative I feel like I've been because of that. I'm really, really happy about everything, and I feel
Valid.
blessed. Like I said.
Yo.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Why are you showing that to me, bro? Often went live on Instagram, just like how I'm not. And posted.
You're so nice.
Also tweeting and deleting.
Sometimes I kind of joke around, or I mean, most of the
Okay.
time I'm joking around.
May 2020. What is Tiny Chat? Yeah? Tell me about it. White supremacist? I don't know what that is, but I'm pretty sure it's not good. I think it's people who think they're superior. Became public. Apologize for her participation. Denied having racist conversations on the site. My behavior isn't sorted out. Always needs to be followed. I'm not perfect. I shouldn't be doing dumb. SHIT, I think. Doja Cat, in a sense, deleted live. Instagram live. Can you delete? Wait. Can you have Instagram lives? I just don't want to be the person who people. Person who. I think it's effing bullshit, see. Because I know that what makes me happy is that you guys are happy and you know what the F is real. Power to the people.
So quarantine has definitely been a challenge for me in a lot of ways.
Bro, I wish I was older than 14. Went viral. You gotta get posting of MTV. She also received 8 Grammy nominations for the 2022 awards, including Album of the Year.
Like, if it's the
Cool.
Grammys,
Wait, that's
one, my friend has to get a tattoo of my name on his...
Booty cheeks?
My DJ from day one has to get a tattoo right on his whatever. Can I say the A word? On his cheek. He has to get on his booty.
That's what I
And he has
say.
to get it
Booty
on
Yooty.
there and prove it. And I'm going to see it. And I'm really excited if that does happen, if we do win something.
I'll do it. I'll get a tattoo of Doja Cat's name on my batootie ootie. Okay, learning. Why does it have to be an hour and 16 minutes long, bro? How am I supposed to watch that? Okay. Demons, the truth about Doja Cat's scary transformation. Okay, I think this is
At
referring
US
to the...
Bank, we think the best
Wait, no,
relationships
that wasn't a year
should feel
ago.
easy.
Guys, I know Doja Cat has been a bit concerning for a lot of y'all, so how about we answer that question once and for all?
No,
Is Doja
I'm
Cat
not-
really okay? Like, how did...
I'm not gonna, what's the word? I'm not gonna get my information from an off-brand TMC. What are they called? TLC?
The song was like, it's different to any other song that I made. All of my other songs I just do them kind of spare of the moment. This is the only song that I had like the lyrics to the hook before I had the beat. I just spent more time on the song.
So I wrote the Doja Cat lyric in a hotel, and it's funny because I was on a massage bed and I was just rapping in my head the whole massage, like, and then I came up with that lyric.
I
and
need
it
to hear
stuck,
the
and the
lyric,
rest is
because I
history.
forgot what it was.
Can I be homophobic? My bitch is gay.
Hitman in a top try, see a man topless, even a stick is gay. Hugging my brothers and say that I love them, but I don't swing that way.
The song was like, it's different to
What
any
is
other
that?
song that
What?
I made. All of my other songs.
Alright, whatever. Doja. Manifest her new relationship.
Let's get to a
How
new
long
couple
ago
alert. Did
was
Doja
this?
Cat manifest her
2023
new
right now.
romance with Stranger Things star Joseph Quinn? They
You're joking!
were spotted walking hand in hand today in London.
Yo!
2 years after, Doja slid into Joseph's co-star Noah Schnapp's
Yeah, I
DMs,
remember
asking
this.
him to hook her up with him.
Hey,
That's some sliding, Mario.
hey, good for her shooting her shot. It worked. Look at that.
Let's
Apparently.
get to a new couple.
W Doja! That's sick! Why she started worshiping the Illuminati. Ooh, how big of a Doja Cat fan am I? So young, boy, we ain't got it. I don't think I know this one that well.
I'm a bitch and a boss, I'm a shine like glass, I'm a bitch, I'm a boss.
I'm a bitch and a boss, I'm a shine like gloss, I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. Okay. That's from the Birds of Prey movie.
Money go low like Neo. I ain't in the break like Dio. My twins big like Tia.
What a time to be alive!
You see me in my room.
Shut up! Get out of here, bro. Big old dislike button. And I'm not ashamed for it. 10 years of Doja Cat, 2024.
Who are you?
I'm Doja Cat. I rap and I sing.
Now we both look Asian. He
Nardwar?
Bitch, I'm a cow.
Nardy, baby!
I'm not a cat. I don't say meow. Damn, Papa, you a rare breed. No comparing. In this mother
Scary. Trying to keep them where I found them. Let a home know. I ain't motherfucking scary.
Why don't you say so? I got delicious taste. You need a woman's touch in your place.
Let me be your woman. This was for the Elvis movie. Shoot. Elvis movie. That little bitch, she a rebel. I always say rebel. I'm bad.
Who are you?
I'm Doja Cat. I rap and I sing.
Now we both.
I rap and I sing. Doja Cat and the Horrors of Hollywood Part 1. How do you have an hour-long Part 1? That's bizarre. Moo. Moo. Okay. I guess it's time to learn about why she worshipped the Illuminati.
Did Doja Cat just expose herself for
Bro.
following the Illuminati?
Never mind. It's time to learn about see if this is just talking bad about Doja Cat, or I don't know if it's
Doja
talking
Cat both
bad,
blowing up and
but
losing diehard fans at the same time, and what's Satan got to do
Where's
with
the
it? The
beef?
singer has the
Lean
_1 song
Queen.
in the world right now, but from angry
Okay, let's
followers
let's
to a
just listen for
Stranger
a little
Things
bit.
fallout, it turns out that Satanic Panic may just be the least of her issues.
Dang. YouTuber?
Hi, I'm a random person on the internet. You're a random person on the internet.
That's true.
Together, we're here to talk about Doja Cat. Now, losing
Okay.
over 1 million Instagram followers can't be easy, but
What?
Doja Cat just
When?
pulled it off. She's got people pissed, and it is coming from all directions. Some people are convinced she
How long
sold
ago
her
was
soul
this?
to Satan. Others are convinced that she should break up with her boyfriend. And she
11
even
months
found
ago.
herself in the middle of a controversy involving her and Noah Schnapp,
Noah
aka the kid who
Schnapp!
plays Will from Stranger Things. But the
I
biggest
hope
beef
he's
of all
gay.
wasn't between Doja and another celebrity, or even between Doja and another person. It's between Doja Cat and her very own fans, and it has gotten personal. Hence the -1 million Instagram followers. Opinions range from Doja Cat's a terrible person who deserves to lose
I
her
remember
career,
this. I
to
think this
she's
is
done
just,
nothing wrong at all, and this is all just an elaborate
just
troll.
because of
And
the
as usual,
boyfriend.
I feel like the best discussion is held somewhere in the middle. So we're gonna go over the whole thing start to finish, and by the end, you'll see that the real issues stem from a clash between Doja Cat's true nature and the way that she's commonly perceived. All this Doja Cat
Okay.
controversy has melded into a big ball of wibbly wobbly satanic panic stuff.
Wibbly
But much like
wobbly.
a cat, we're gonna unravel the whole thing. But before we talk about that, Let's talk about
Oh,
what if I told you
I
that you
hate
may
the
have missed
wibbly
4
wobbly.
uploads between this one and the last video of mine that you saw.
What?
For those of you who may
I
not
don't-
know, I just started a new channel.
I don't
That
know.
channel will be home to what I'm
know.
calling casual commentary. And you can think of it as just a very stripped back version.
I wish
of
I
what
could do that with my
A
hair.
very
Because-
stripped back version. In fact,
Bro.
I'm pretty much just talking freely over there. No sponsors, no schedule, no script.
I
Really, it's the
can't.
perfect place if you kind of just want to hear me talk more often and
That's
about
it.
more things that are
Period.
maybe a little too silly or a little too small
Period.
for this channel. I've already posted
Boom. 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 Period. I only listen to this song once. But I heard it a lot on TikTok. Hey. Anyway.
4 different videos over there about everything.
I'm
synth-based
wanting to
taste.
know
So
about
all I have to do
Doja
is
Cat,
pop
buddy.
up the flavor pod to activate it and let the flavor begin with
Tell
a
me
bunch
about
of
Doja
flavors that
Cat,
you can choose from.
please.
So click the link in the
Please
description.
tell me
To
about
look
Doja
forward,
Cat.
let's start by going back. And I mean
Okay.
way back.
Yup.
See, I think Doja Cat's pre-fame antics actually give a lot of insight into her current controversy. Even from the beginning, she's always had a personality
how I
that
learned to
seems a
become
bit
Doja
more
Cat.
common among internet comedians as opposed to pop stars. Her debut single is a tribute to weed, as is the Doja in her stage
Really?
name. Her unreleased music includes songs like Sucker Punch, which is an entire track
Okay,
about
hold
how
on. Hold on. Wait.
she's going to Chuck Norris roundhouse kick someone. Complete
I should punch this bitch. I should punch this bitch. I should punch. I should punch this bitch. Yeah, I should punch this bitch. I should punch that bitch. I should punch this bitch. I should punch that this bitch. I should punch this bitch. I should punch this bitch. Yeah, I should punch this bitch. I should punch this bitch. I should punch this bitch. Yeah, I should punch this bitch. My leg. I should punch this. My leg. I should punch that bitch. My leg. My leg. I should punch that bitch. My leg. My leg. Tell me that was not a W cover.
with the sample from SpongeBob.
Wait, that's not what I wanted. Duplicate. And then press the back arrow button. Doja Cat. Lore. Doja Cat. Hot complete. No, 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 no! No!
Bob SquarePants, like some sort of ironic icing on a meme cake. So with these lightheaded
No!
words, it should come
Get
as no
that
surprise
outta
that
here!
Doja Cat's initial brush with fame was actually a complete joke. Released in 2018, the rap song Moo by Doja Cat is such an utterly unserious track. I don't think there's a single genuine bar to be found. With lyrics like I'm not a cat, I don't say meow, and the phrase I'm a cow repeated over 40 times, the song was impossible to take seriously, dangerously catchy, and
Bitch,
most
I'm a cow.
confusingly,
Bitch, I'm a
really,
cow.
really good. Together with a well-timed and equally goofy video that's currently sitting at 126 million views, as well as one of the top 10 most viewed Genius Verified lyric explanation videos of all time, suddenly Doja Cat was everywhere. And if this Genius lyric video was
Everywhere.
anything to go by, she wasn't taking this very seriously at all.
My name is Doja Cat, I gotta acknowledge that. Before making this song, I've thought about changing my name for sure. But there is no way in hell that I'll ever be Doja Cow.
But her say whatever for a laugh attitude only endeared her to her new fans even more. Now, this might seem like the start
I
of
gotta
a happy
change my
story,
name,
but
bro.
a pretty big theme in this video is actually the difference between perception on the internet and actual reality. So while the internet gleefully declared Moo to be our song of the summer, it's worth noting that its success was fairly self-contained. Despite being later repurposed as a single and used to boost her sophomore album Amala, the song was more popular with Discord users than disc jockeys. And it didn't really make any waves outside the web at all. So one has to wonder, how did Doja Cat then go on to score a total of 8 top 10 hits, including 2 #1 singles? Well, it turns out that Moo wasn't just lightning in a bottle, and in fact, it wasn't even the catchiest song that Doja Cat had up her cow pattern sleeve. In late 2019, most of the world was just
Alright.
blissfully living their lives, completely unaware that a global pandemic was just moments away. But as people enjoyed
Moments.
these last few moments in the
Bro,
sun before
say
a flurry
so?
of stay-at-home orders
about to be
ruined every
say
single
so,
plan
isn't
I
it?
had ever made that year, little did we know that something else was going to be spreading
Say Say
quite
So.
rapidly the next year as well. Doja Cat had just released her third studio album, Hot Pink. Now, even though her signature
And
style
on that
kinda
album,
makes
there's
its
a
way
song
into
called
all of her
Say
work,
So.
Doja Cat's albums are largely populated with slightly more serious tracks, more straightforward and radio-friendly
Say
pop
So.
rap numbers such as Say So. And Say So was
Yes!
about to change the trajectory of her entire career. There's one platform where viral trends plus catchy songs actually can impact the radio. Look no further than TikTok. Say So,
TikTok!
an overwhelmingly pleasant song with disco vibes and cute lyrics. Basically just the exact kind of music that does well on the Clock app.
Alright. Thank you very much for... This is not helpful though. I need to know the story of Doja Cat. The story... Oh, I do know the story of Doja Cat already. Wow. The tragic story of Doja Cat's struggle with fame, going to drop out to viral sensation. This is it. This is it, baby. This is what I needed.
Scientists have made a groundbreaking discovery. People love Friday night.
Hey guys, it's Doja Cat. This is my story growing up in California.
Okay. That's... I think that's pretty helpful. She
My
had
mom-
banger canines too. Yes. I like.
My mom painted
sharp
for a really long time. My grandma is also a painter. A lot of that inspired me to like take up fashion and visual experimental things, and I thank them a lot for that. I feel like it
that
really
is
helps
a
me a lot. You know, they have great
sick
taste, they have a
stance.
good eye, and it kind of drove me in the right direction. My mom is like a hippie from the 60s. Super like chill with most things. When it came to music and everything, like she wanted to be a part of it. Like she wanted to hear it. She was always excited whenever I was like, hey, you want to come hear this? I know that my aunt was a singer. She looked out for me
That's
when I
a
was
lot of
little.
rings.
Like she was there. She'd help raise me with my mom. She gave me singing lessons when I was younger to get into a performing arts school. It was really nice being around, you know, musicians and singers and stuff like that. So I started dancing when I was 5 or 6. I know my first dance class I ever took was Bharatanatyam dance, a very different style of dance
Bro, I
from
wish
what
I
I
got
took
into
on for
dance.
the rest of my life. I feel like it
Bro, I
taught me
think if
how
I
to kind
did
of
get into
be
dance, I
emotive
would like it.
and control my body in a special way. I remember when I was like 5 years old, I moved from Rye, New York to an ashram in Sherman Oaks. You had like Sunday school and like you'd go to temple on Sundays and sing bhajans, which is like, you know, the songs and whatnot that you sing. The Swami for my ashram was Alice Coltrane. That was incredible for me to be around at such a young age. She would sing and it was captivating. I wrote a song when I was 8 for my mom. I don't remember how it goes. I mean, I kind of do, and I'm definitely not telling anybody what the lyrics were. I'm like kind of ashamed.
bro?
I don't know why. Like it's too mushy for
my
me.
bad.
Obviously, it's like something written by an 8-year-old, so it's not
bad.
entirely sophisticated. I could definitely say that was my first song I ever wrote. But that was when I lived
I
on
still
the
haven't wrote my
ashram.
first song,
And
but it's coming.
I knew I wanted to sing, but I never thought I would. It was just something I tried.
The journey.
My first gig ever was at a very small bar called Six in Echo Park. I like couldn't breathe. Like I could get the words out, but it wasn't how I wanted it to be. I like tried to dress up and I was trying to like look interesting at least a little bit, and my outfit was just horrendous. I don't want to say the wrong thing because I don't want to influence people to be like "F school," because it's not like that. It was really hard for me, school, and you know all I cared about was like dance, English, and Lunch. Honestly, I was supposed to go to school, but then I got high. Right after high school, I would sit in my room and like look for music and look for beats. Like I was a hipster for sure. I was trying to find stuff before it was cool type kid. Like that was me. I found a couple beats and I remember having like GarageBand on my laptop or my desktop computer, which was on the floor. And then I would just put a blanket over my head and start recording stuff into GarageBand with my built-in mic. And it was interesting for me because I never heard my own voice recorded before, ever. And then years passed and I had this boyfriend when I was like 20 years old or something like that. He gave me a MIDI keyboard.
Boyfriend?
Yeah, he just surprised me with it. He just kind of like mailed it to me. I was like, what do you expect me to do with this? And he was like, just try it. I'm like, all right. I started making stuff and recording it and then I put my voice on top and I just kept doing it. And then I was like, let me...
Boyfriend. What?
He just stream this. Maybe there's some cool people on the internet who want to see what I'm doing. Then I just go on Instagram every day and just keep making music. There was one time where it was like a 7-day period of me making these songs, 1 song a day. So it had 7 songs. Basically, that's an album. So I had made a whole full album. I didn't have any real like goal to like put it out. I just know that like if I can do that, then I feel like I can just keep going. The only challenge I ever had was addiction. Alcohol and cigarettes were my thing and weed was my thing, and I would smoke and smoke and smoke, and like I'd be chain smoking and it would mess with my voice,
I have no idea
my energy. I shouldn't be telling people this, but I did acid one time and it helped me quit cigarettes. It was definitely just one of the biggest challenges in my life.
Who's trying to get my grandma to do acid?
And it happened and people called me like, congratulations, like you hit #1, and they're like, I'm like, thanks, blah, blah, hung up the phone. And not even like an hour later, I hear a beep outside. And it is 10 cars lined up on the road, completely empty road. And it's one of those cul-de-sac type of vibes where all the houses look the same kind of thing. And I come outside and everybody's like, congratulations! We celebrated in the middle of the street for like a good 10 minutes and I hugged everybody. And the Grammys was a different experience for me. It was the first show that I ever cried like a baby after performing, you know. The best experience of my life, probably, hands down. I've never felt that way.
Best experience of my life is probably
a different side of myself.
First time I tried a
So for the next project, it's going to be similar to Hot Pink in the sense that each of the songs are very different from each other, but this one is in its own lane because it's a little more consistent. I'm excited about putting out R&B and to be, you know, exploring different lanes and things like that. If I could tell everybody everything, they would probably sweat their brains out and die. Unbelievable what we have coming next, and I hate to be vague, but it's gonna be very exciting. All right, that's it. Thanks, guys. I'm Doja Cat, and I'm glad you watched. Stay tuned for more.
Okay. I think we've learned now how to be Doja Cat. So the only way to prove that we've learned it is to write it in words. How to be Doja Cat. First off, be born in, like, not South Dakota, you lame ass. Next, have no papa. No, that's weird. Have no daddy. Oh, crap. I just realized my mom's dead, and hers isn't. Have an alive mom. Be close with your grandma, though. Be close with grandma. Get a boyfriend. Don't graduate school if it's... No, I'm not putting that. You can graduate school. We all need to... That's important. That's important. Get money. Get weed. Get girls. What else did she do? Garage band under the blanket. Drop moo. Drop say so and go into quarantine. I think if I just follow all of these criteria, I should be good. That's not happening. Because I want to be a streamer! Yay! Streamer! I gotta stop pointing to the sky. It's starting to get annoying. Okay, what's the next thing I want to do? I want to finish this video that I started watching before stream. Because I love SpongeBob.
It starts off with SpongeBob jumping out of his house on his unicycle and biking to his boating test while doing some insane tricks and perfectly landing in the boat. Then he just crashes back and forth into the boat in front of him and behind him, and that's it. That's like the entire test. Because of this, Mrs. Puff puffs up too much and she makes the boat start floating, and then they crash into the lighthouse, making Mrs. Puff explode. This is probably one of the most rushed intros and lamest boating exams done in
Why do I not know
usually
this
the
episode?
exams have like a cool track and last longer than 5 seconds, but this one seems set up perfectly to fail as fast as possible. But anyways, Mrs. Puff is in the hospital because she ruptured her inflation sac and now she can't puff. They should start calling you Mrs. Pop. This gets her super mad and she hops out of the bed and starts attacking him, to which the doctor literally stabs her with a needle, putting her to sleep, then puts SpongeBob to sleep for talking too much. I guess. SpongeBob comes to visit her again and she looks all gloomy and sad. But he's actually kind of being a good person here, bringing her flowers.
Oh, he's
and walking
always
around
giving
the hospital,
flowers
to which they see some
Squidward, Mrs. Puff, Larry the Lobster. I'm just
pretty
kidding.
injured guys being brought in. Here's where we learn about the demolition derby and how dangerous it is. This is also where Mrs. Puff becomes happy again because she gets a plan. If SpongeBob joins the derby, he can literally die and he won't be in her life anymore. Pretty dark. So he signs up for the derby and look at this man's gear. He has an extremely little car and is wearing a sock. And keep in mind, all the fishes around him are jacked and in huge cars. Also, SpongeBob can't even drive a boat. So it's pretty much guaranteed he's gonna die. But
nah, he wins that. He wins that. My boy wins that. Give him some faith.
Not really, because SpongeBob is literally a sponge. He can't receive pain. So he uses his sponge skin to fling some guy and his boat across the entire arena. And then he just drives randomly and somehow it destroys every single professional derby guy. This obviously makes Mrs. Puff furious. And so she hops in a boat and decides she's gonna kill him herself. But SpongeBob is somehow a good driver now and can perfectly drive the driving course. But then he crashes into the boating school, sending her crashing into it too. And then she puffs back up again and she's all fixed. This episode is pretty interesting and honestly gives some great lore on the relationship between Mrs. Puff and SpongeBob. I mean, the fact she wants to literally kill SpongeBob all because of how bad of a student he is absolutely crazy. I'm not a big fan of the intro, like I said before, and I also think the derby part could have been more scary and hard. Instead of SpongeBob just winning the derby without even having to try. But I think this episode was just a way to really rub it in Puff's face that no matter what she does, SpongeBob will always win. It wasn't the most memorable episode, and there really wasn't many jokes, but I don't think it deserved the 4.4 rating it got. Maybe like a 5 or a 6. The 8th worst episode is Stuck in the Ringer with a rating of 4.1. So the episode starts off with SpongeBob washing himself with a soap bar until he drops the soap. But it's okay. He has a spare. He washes his brain and goes to this ringer and it dries him completely off. Pretty sick.
I'm just a goober. Goofing my SH. I'm just a goober goofing my... I don't know why I feel the need to be
SpongeBob then steps onto the soap, flinging him around the entire bathroom into his tub. This makes him realize he has to be careful, so then he avoids the soap the next time. But then he steps onto his duck and trips on the soap again, launching him straight into the ringer. This time though, he gets stuck, and then he breaks the handle with his tongue. But it's okay, because for some reason Patrick's in his house, so we can help him,
with the
right?
glue.
No, not at all. Of course he makes it worse. You see, Patrick puts forever glue on the ringer, making SpongeBob even more stuck. So of course SpongeBob starts freaking out, and I can't be the only one who thinks Patrick is such an awful friend. Either he's really stupid or genuinely wants to see SpongeBob's life crumble. But anyways, this is pretty much the premise of the entire episode.
Ain't no way you're
SpongeBob
about
stuck in a ringer. Anyways, he doesn't want his ringer to stop him from living his life, so he heads off to work. Keep in mind, this is also after Patrick gave him a motivational speech that he can do this beside the circumstances that he put him in. Now obviously SpongeBob can't be a fry cook while barely having functional arms, but surprisingly he is killing it and makes full Krabby Patties, which is pretty impressive. Of course though, it's destined to go bad, which it does. SpongeBob disintegrates Squidward's eyes with mustard, then jumps over to check on him and drops a register on the customer's foot, then checks if customer's okay with the microphone, and the microphone sends him flying all around Krusty Krab while also opening the register full of money. This gets Mr. Krabs furious as people start picking up his money, and also SpongeBob slams him into the wall and injures a bunch of fish. So obviously he gets sent home. Then there's Patrick waiting for him, like he knew this would happen. Very suspicious. SpongeBob starts crying. And I want you to remember this because it's actually a pretty big flaw in this episode. But anyway, Patrick gives another motivational speech and takes him to Super Weenie Hut Jr. to make him feel better. Thing is though, he can't even swallow the ice cream because of the ring. So then Patrick flaw in this episode.
He's crying and the tear isn't dropping and destroying the glue.
But anyway, Patrick gives another motivational speech and takes him to Super Weenie Hut Jr. to make him feel better. Thing is though, he can't even swallow the ice cream because of the ringer. So then Patrick serves up the ice cream and takes him to the carnival instead. And man oh man, my theory gets proven right so hard right here. Not only is the carnival dangerous, Patrick picks out every activity SpongeBob literally can't do. He starts with throwing a ball at these cans, which he tries to do and it gives him a black eye. Then he takes him to the spinning steering wheels, which SpongeBob says he doesn't want to go on, but Patrick forces him and spins it so fast he flies off. And believe it or not, SpongeBob actually ends up standing up for himself and blows up on Patrick, which literally somehow gets turned on him and Patrick starts crying, and the fishes around SpongeBob tell him that he has no heart and make him feel even worse. The manipulation is crazy on Patrick. The next day, Patrick comes over to SpongeBob's house after battling on if he should go or not.
See, this is the kind of introspection I wanted on 13 Reasons Why. He is going bar for bar every single thing that happens in the episode.
Watching static on his television, going pretty insane. Until Patrick starts crying and apologizing and a tear falls onto the glue, allowing him to slip out. Yeah, that's been the solution the entire time. Literal tears. SpongeBob then throws the ringer in the air and delivers a very motivational quote.
I guess crying does solve your problems.
To which the ringer falls back down and traps both of them. The end. Now the flaw I was talking about earlier is that SpongeBob literally cries before and nothing happens. And I know that tears could have easily gone around the glue, but it doesn't make much sense. I think the solution to this problem is so simple, it's dumb. But also it's SpongeBob and it honestly fits the theme. Besides all of that though, this episode is not that bad. I thoroughly enjoyed it. There's a lot of different emotions and the pacing never feels boring. I also remember as a kid stressing out pretty bad over this episode. I'm a very claustrophobic person. But I think this episode had good jokes. It makes you feel the emotions SpongeBob was going through, and even made you see SpongeBob's friendship with Patrick in a new light. I think, truthfully, the rating of this episode was tanked because of the episode it was grouped with, which is the 7th worst episode, Growth Spout, that has a rating of
I literally watched this like
This episode starts with Mr. Krabs realizing his breath smells bad. So he goes to brush his teeth, and while doing so, Pearl's fin goes right through the mirror, and Mr. Krabs is somehow oblivious to the fact. Which, how is that even possible? Pearl screams for him though, and he goes to check on her. And the continuity here doesn't
funny. That's how it's possible,
right
bro.
through the mirror, and Mr. Krabs is somehow oblivious to the fact. Which, how
that because it's funny.
Is that even possible?
I have gripes
Pearl
with
screams for him though, and he goes to check on her. And the continuity here doesn't make any sense. In the last scene, it looks like Pearl busted through the wall into the bathroom, but here, Pearl is just sitting in bed and not going through any wall. And I don't even see a hole in any wall in her room. Doesn't make much sense. The continuity continues staying inconsistent as now Pearl starts growing, which from the last scene it seemed like that just happened, but I guess not. Anyways, Pearl demands for some food, and Mr. Krabs brings her the fridge, to which she slurps the entirety of the fridge and all the food, and it's not enough, and she starts growing even more, smashing through the roof. Mr. Krabs, looking at his whale daughter the size of the entire room, calmly just states,
"It's probably just a growth spout."
Growth spout or not, Mr. Krabs is left with a problem. He has no food, which is the conflict for the entire episode. I'm not going to go into detail of this entire episode because it's going to be kind of boring, because it's literally just Mr. Krabs looking for food, giving food to Pearl, her saying more, and repeating. But to be honest, they do make it somewhat interesting. For example, Mr. Krabs tries getting some peanuts from Mrs. Puff's yard, and they turn out to be some peanut worms. And then when Mr. Krabs is leaving Squidward's house with a sack of food, the cops, who are also aware of a food stealer, question him. And his excuse is that he's practicing to be Santa, and it somehow works, and they literally drive him home, which I can't lie is pretty funny. Keep in mind, these are the same cops who also will lock you up for throwing some paper on the floor. Anyways, the last house Krabs visits is SpongeBob's, and him being so pure thinks they're having a slumber party. But then Squidward comes in and snitches on him for stealing food. So Mr. Krabs is honest with SpongeBob and tells him what's happening. And SpongeBob says that he can help him by cooking a Krabby Patty that tastes like a million Krabby Patties. And so that's what they do. They feed Pearl this Krabby Patty, and poof, she's back to normal. Mr. Krabs asks SpongeBob what the secret ingredient he used was, and he tells him it was love. Yeah. So in my opinion, this episode is not that great at all. The conflict for the episode honestly makes no sense and is never really even explained. What was Pearl going through for real? I have no idea. It obviously wasn't a growth spurt, because in the end she goes back to normal. And while they kept the idea of feeding her entertaining with funny jokes and weird,
you're crazy
what was
if you
Pearl
think that's
going
the
through for
size.
real?
Look, bro. Look at this. Look at her eyeball in reference to his eyeball. It's about half. Now look at this.
So in my opinion, this episode is not that great at all. The conflict for the episode honestly makes no sense.
Shut up.
With funny jokes and weird. What was Pearl going through for real? I have no idea.
Tiny eyeball. The hair is the size of his.
It obviously wasn't a growth spurt, because in the end she goes.
She's huge. That eyeball is 3/4 of this thing. That hair is the entirety. She's big.
Back to normal.
She's big, bro.
And while they kept the idea of feeding
She's
her
big.
entertaining with funny jokes and weird peanut worms, it just doesn't feel satisfying or
okay.
fun to watch. Especially the resolution. Like, you're gonna tell me I stressed through an entire episode of Mr. Krabs scavenging for food and risking jail time
that's a you
for
problem,
SpongeBob to
bro.
feed her one
What
patty
do you mean
of
you're
love
stressed?
and fix her? This episode, to be honest, deserved its rating. I wasn't a big fan. The 6th worth episode is Slide Whistle Stooges with a rating of 3.
Now I can tell you for. See, that's the other thing is I'm pretty much just here. I'll give you the rundown of what happens in these episodes. SpongeBob and Patrick are hanging out. They be hanging out, right? And then they find these slide whistles and they start messing with Squidward. Squidward gets super mad. So he decides to do it back to them. And then he decides to do it to everybody else in town. And then he does it in a truck and drives off of a bridge. That's what happened.
3.9.
We love Sephora because it's got hair care for me and
Oh,
me.
that's why we love
We got makeup
Sephora.
for the curls. K18.
This episode starts off with Squidward peacefully waking up in his bed and walking to his shower. While he's scrubbing himself, we hear a sound. Weird sound, but it's nothing, right? I mean, Squidward ignores it until he bends down to grab his newspaper. So it turns out SpongeBob and Patrick are playing the slide whistle. Now, so far, it's been pretty simple sounds to poke
I
fun
don't
at
actually want to
Squidward.
watch this video anymore. Okay. Is this the next episode?
Yes. And they created an entire episode off of it. I think it's impressive how they made an entire episode off a slide whistle joke, but I think this episode maybe received the rating it did because of how repetitive and kind of annoying it is to watch. The 5th worst
Alright.
episode is The Splinter, with a rating of.
There's one. I don't know if this guy's going to show it, but. Bro. This thing gets nasty.
Mr. Krabs just simply takes the splinter out. It blows up and shoots pus all over
Nasty.
Mr. Krabs, and he pays no mind to it, stating, "I thought I'd have to pay you workers' comp." After hearing
And
this,
then
Squidward
Squidward
beats
bashes
himself up with the register super bad to try to get workers' comp, but turns out his shift just ended, so now he's injured for no reason. I'm starting to figure out that a lot of these worst episodes have a similar theme. The concept of these episodes are very bland and basic. Like, making an
Nobody
entire
asked
episode
for
about a
your
splinter
opinion.
is pretty insane. Also, every resolution is very unsatisfying and not worth the build-up. This episode is just pretty bad. Everything feels dragged out and the jokes aren't even very good. It makes sense though. Keeping a splinter in SpongeBob's thumb for 11 minutes and trying your hardest to keep it entertaining sounds hard. Honestly, kudos to the writing team. I couldn't do it. The fourth worst episode is One Course Meal with a rating.
I don't know. Is that the one where
it starts with Mr. Krabs stripping, hopping into a tub full of money?
Nope.
This leads me back to earlier when I questioned what this man does alone in his office. Because what is this? But anyways, Mr. Krabs smells something funky, so he, with a towel on, asks SpongeBob what the smell is. SpongeBob tells him it's a high-grade explosive. Which, how does he know this? And Plankton throws an explosive straight into the kitchen, and somehow this makes.
I
Mr.
still
Krabs
don't know what
fully dressed.
happens in
I don't know how. Kind of weird, but SpongeBob loads himself up with peas and Mr. Krabs shoots him at Plankton. But Plankton's got a bubble shield and a fake rocket that is actually a claw that traps them. Then we learn the reason for all of this, which obviously is to get the secret formula. Mr. Krabs doesn't crack, but SpongeBob does instantly, which, shocker, all hope seems lost until Plankton smells something funky too. Which SpongeBob, with his ridiculously good sense of smell, says it smells like blubber, which I guess is a fancy way of saying whale. Turns out Plankton is very terrified of Pearl and runs away. Honestly, I think it's really cool how accurate. Even SpongeBob says that's taking it too far. And so SpongeBob comes back to Plankton and tells him that this whole time it hasn't been Pearl and it was Mr. Krabs in a whale suit, and tells him Mr. Krabs' worst fear so we can get back at him. Kind of messed up by SpongeBob, but it's a tough situation. Either let Plankton die or snitch on Mr. Krabs. So Plankton comes to Krusty Krab and isn't scared of Pearl no more and brings Mr. Krabs' worst fear with him.
Mime.
And Mr. Krabs is freaking out, and you think Plankton won again until SpongeBob tells him about the feeding whales outside, and Plankton starts freaking out and escapes through a nail. Turns out he's not a snitch, and the whales were a projection, and this was actually him redeeming himself for telling Plankton where the formula was earlier. So this episode, I think, is fairly interesting. Finally, we have an episode that is very creative and even slightly educational. Don't get me wrong though, this episode is pretty bad, and one of the jokes is very inappropriate and wrong, but besides that, I think it's a little overhated. I just feel like after what we've seen so far, this episode was the most interesting to me. It honestly caught me off guard, and it wasn't predictable, but it's still one of the worst episodes. So the third worst episode is Gary in Love, that has a rating of 3.5.
I could tell you what happens. He's watching the show, and then in the show, the greaser falls in love with the cheerleader or whatever, and then they have snails.
With Gary watching a rom-com and seeing two fishes fall in love.
This was actually a good
and
episode.
The two lovebirds meow to each other.
You could think this is not.
Also, the mafia snail. Gary tells him that it was actually his fault and that he snuck out to see the snail. Which, please remember that SpongeBob can understand Gary, because that's going to be very important in an episode coming up. But anyways, another snail comes out of nowhere, and he's like this Elvis snail, and Gary's dream snail just forgets about him and goes to the Elvis snail, which is pretty sad. And then Mafia Snail and Gary become friends, and that's it. This episode is boring. It's hard to care about Gary finding
what? Bro, what are you talking about? Where is it? You cannot tell me this is
These
boring.
snails are stronger than this fish. So this goes on for about 2 hours, and the worker isn't snitching.
This is not boring. This is funny.
And Gary's still hidden until this snake-looking thing attacks the mafia snails and chases them out. And Gary's finally free. He then sees his dream snail in a boat with her owner, and of course, fall in love with Gary. It's a decent plot twist, but it makes the entire episode just pointless. I think this episode deserves its rating, and it definitely dragged down the previous episode. The second worst episode is Keep Bikini Bottom Beautiful with a rating of 3.2. It starts off with Squidward stepping out of his house in a good mood. He walks out of his house, ignores SpongeBob, and Groovy walks down the street until he steps into some gum, and he falls on his face. He can't get the gum.
No shot.
Trash? What? I know it's all because of Squidward's competitiveness with Squilliam, but their whole rivalry is kind of based off of music, so this makes no sense. The only reason I can imagine this episode being made is because of the joke about cops taking litter so serious, but wow, did they really overdo it in this episode, to the point where it wasn't that funny. This episode makes no sense from start to finish, definitely deserves a rating. Finally, the worst episode of SpongeBob is A Pal for Gary with a rating of 3.2. The episode starts with SpongeBob feeding Gary and then throwing the can. Anyway, Gary tries asking SpongeBob to go on a walk with him by showing him the leash, but he has to go to work so he can't go. Turns out though, this wasn't a leash and it was actually a rope, so Gary could get some snacks and a cowboy hat and watch this western movie. SpongeBob being oblivious feels bad. Then some person walks in the Krusty Krab. That was the worst and SpongeBob tells him about the no pet policy. And while Fluffy leaves, SpongeBob begs.
Bro, how long ago is this? 3 months ago? You cannot tell me this is not worse than them going... Or you cannot tell me... What? You can't tell me that that's better. That was better than them going in... They're out of mustard, so they go into the mustard mines. They go into the mines and start chipping away. And then they get hot sauce, ketchup, mayonnaise. And then they strike mustard so good that the dude, old man, takes a cork out of his tooth, plugs it back up, and then they like abuse him or something, and then mustard for everybody. Like, bro, what? I don't know, but what I do know is I'm low key down on energy, so I'm just gonna end this. I'm just gonna end the stream, cause, I mean, what's the? An hour 25 is still good, and my title is I'm just a goober goofing my. So, I mean, that's a pretty good title. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I don't know, bro. I'm okay with ending early right now, because I'll just end later, maybe. I don't know. I'm probably going to play Elden Ring. Hopefully finish the game. I don't even know. That's about it. See ya.